at the moment, we have a general election. And like most general elections, it's a time when politicians try and appeal to their core voters and perhaps try and reach out to bring in some people who wouldn't normally think about voting for them. This is perhaps the most interesting general election we've had for 30 years, as all the party leaders square up to each other. Unusually for the UK, this is a multi-party general election, and I think we have now 7 major parties, all of whom have a claim on appealing to their core vote. So we not only have the traditional Labour and Conservative, the Liberal Democrats, but also parties of a more geographic appeal to this. So the Scottish Nationalists, Plaid Cymru and so on. And of course the anti-EU party, UKIP, all vying for people's votes. And so that's leading to a time where every vote in the UK is important. And from the city's perspective, what we want to see are policies that make the UK a great place to do business. Those are around tax competitiveness, tax certainty, and so we want to make sure that the current government's approach of keeping the UK a G7 competitive taxation environment maintains. We want to make sure that the city remains an attractive place to bring in the best people from around the world to run companies. So we want to see an immigration policy that supports business. And we also want a regulatory system here in the UK for financial services that is strong, that's robust, but actually that works with the industry in order to protect our clients and customers and to keep the UK a globally interesting place to do business so we can maintain our position as being the #1 global financial centre in the world. For anybody who's thinking about investing in London today, there are a number of key attributes, benefits of investing in the UK. It's easy to think about the historical ones. Language, English is the business language globally. Rule of law, whether you're a business or an individual, you can always have comfort in the UK's legal system. Time zone, of course, means that we're perfectly poised to do business here in London between Asia and the US at any time of the day. But of course, there are the more softer advantages, the areas such as quality of life, wonderful theatre, great arts, and a place to live that is world-renowned as being a fun place, actually, with wonderful restaurants and bars and so on. So not only is this a great place to live, it also continues to be a good investment location. The current UK government has worked long and hard to rebuild the relationship that we have with the Indian government. And I was fortunate to be in India just a brief time ago and could see the impact that Mr. Modi and his government was having in India. My organisation is fortunate to be cooperating with our Indian counterparts on the India-UK Financial Partnership. That's a way of bringing together practitioners from Indian financial services and UK financial services so that we can both learn lessons from each other and explore opportunities such as helping develop the Indian corporate bond market or the internationalisation of the rupee or financial education. So those are some tangible, practical examples of how relationships between the Indian government and the UK government can be used to benefit business, create jobs and stimulate economic growth between two great nations. India Inc. are to be congratulated on running the second of these financial services conclaves. I was on a very distinguished panel, and looking at the audience I felt I was talking to a distinguished audience as well. The timing couldn't have been better, just a few days away from a general election, and the panel I was on, we talked about the impact of the general election, why investment between India and the UK, flowing in both directions, was so important, and of course the UK's membership of the European Union. And what I hope I was able to say is that not only does the UK remain a great place to do business, but actually there's a strength and depth of relationship between India and the UK that business wants to bolster, wants to foster, because actually we understand that there's mutual benefit for both nations in having stronger commercial ties.